Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you my second anti-haul. I did one maybe last month or a couple months ago, and it was so much fun. I got to be a little bit sassy. I'm usually very positive on my channel, you guys know that, but it is kind of fun to talk trash about products. Guys, it's just makeup. Calm down. It's just makeup. But it is fun to share with you guys my thoughts on certain things that are maybe new right now, maybe trendy, and they're just things that I genuinely don't have an interest in buying or owning. Of course, it's just my opinion. You guys know that, and I know you guys take it with a grain of salt because you have your own opinions as well. So I hope that you will subscribe if you like this kind of video. Give it a thumbs up so I know, and let's go ahead and get into it. The first product I just don't have an interest in buying is the new Benefit Cosmetics Cheek Parade. This is one of their collections of their boxed powders, their blushes, and bronzer. And first of all, I've owned most of these on my own. I've decluttered, I was gonna say virtually, no, every single one except for Dallas, my favorite. I wear that all the time. But my thing with these is that oftentimes it's not the same formula as the one in the separate box. I don't know why they do it this way. It's not true for all of them, but in my experience, it's not always the same quality. And that is a huge bummer because you think, oh, I'm saving all this money by buying it in this kit, but you're not always getting the exact same product. Now, beyond that, the packaging looks cute, etc. But if you're ever wanting to travel with that, you're not gonna bring that big old bulky palette. I mean, you might, but I know me and I wouldn't. This is my opinion, of course, but I don't like big palettes of face products. I don't end up reaching for them. Some of them I do like, but I also know myself and I know I'd much rather just grab a singular blush and use that. And so for that reason, I will not be spending $58 on that cheek palette. The next one I am going to pass on this time around is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself Eye and Cheek Palette. This retails for $40. It has a little over 4 stars on Sephora's website. It has all these like kind of lighter jewel tone colors. They're shimmery. Just no. I feel like it's just another one of those Tarte palettes that everyone wants because it's limited edition and it's got beautiful packaging, and half the time the quality's pretty good or it's not. You know, it's kind of a gamble with limited edition because the reality is with limited edition, companies can pump them out, people will buy them because it's special, you can only get it now, and then once you get it, you're like, oh, this is kind of crummy, or you know, whatever. Not to say that this is, because I've heard good things about it, but it's just another palette with a bunch of shades that don't necessarily work well together, and you can't necessarily get a complete look out of it. And so for that reason, I wouldn't be able to use it as much as I'd like. And I can't recommend it to you guys. Once it's gone, it's gone. So for me, it wouldn't even make sense. But also, I just know in my heart that I wouldn't use it enough to make it worth the $40. I'd rather buy a palette that's gonna be around for a while, that if I really loved it and somehow used it all up, I could actually buy it again. The next product is another palette, and it's the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat. I'm sorry, I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's the collection. And it retails for $39, which for an Urban Decay palette is semi-reasonable. Usually theirs are 50 and 52, you know, a little bit up there. This does have less shades. It looks like it has 8 shades. I just don't like the colors. I gotta be honest. Like looking at the colors, there's like a chartreuse and a darker blue and a lighter blue and kind of a, I like the dark purple and like the burnt orange. But for me, I couldn't get a complete look at it out of it, or at least not more than one complete look out of it. And for $40, and again, a limited edition, it's one that I'm like, I love Urban Decay shadows. Pretty much across the board, Urban Decay shadows are always good. Like even in their limited edition, I feel like they still usually are pretty good. Sometimes there might be a dud, but across the board, they're usually pretty consistent, which I appreciate. But this is just one that I easily will pass on. None of it looks inspiring to me at all. It just doesn't. So for me, it's just a total pass. The next one is a Smashbox Be Legendary Liquid Lip. Why are companies still making liquid lipsticks? Not that they should get rid of the ones they're selling now, but to come out with a new liquid lipstick range right now when I feel like it's kind of not as many people are buying them, doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It seems like a huge waste of money. They're way behind the game. Now, I might be incorrect. Maybe they've already had this out and I just totally never heard about it, but I feel like this is new. It was on Sephora's new page. I haven't heard of it until recently. So at least as far as I know, it's new. It's a new line. Smashbox lip products are just not my favorite. I've tried their lipsticks and I did not like those at all. Now, I do like their always on little lip colors. Those are really comfortable. Those were great. But I presume this is more of like a dry down liquid lipstick. And no. There are so many of these. It is oversaturated in the makeup world. You can get really cheap ones that do the exact same thing as this $24 one. And so for that reason, I'm kind of in that part where I'm like, you know, you really don't have to spend $25 to get a good liquid lipstick. There are plenty in the drugstore, even the Wet n Wild liquid catsuits. Those are not 100% amazing, but they give you pretty much the same effect as any of these do, and for that reason, pass. This next one. So Natasha De Nona gives me a headache. And she only gives me a headache because I don't own anything yet by her, and it's so expensive. And, you know, I've heard good things about her eyeshadows and all this stuff, but it's so expensive. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's another brand that's really expensive that I want to try, but I don't want to spend the money on. But this is her Sculpt and Glow face. This is $89. This is $89 for a highlight and contour palette. That, again, I just don't like face products and palettes. I don't end up using all of the colors in there, and that bothers me. I'd rather buy singular shades that I know work well for my skin tone than have 2 or 3 that I use in there and the rest just don't work, so I just don't use them. It just seems silly to me. But especially at $89. I'm sure these powders are amazing. It's just so much money. All of her stuff is so expensive. I'd love to try it one day, but this would not be a product I would spend the money on. I would rather spend that money on an eyeshadow palette. This next one I'm going to tell you I think might rub some people the wrong way. And I know it will. And I'm kind of on the fence about mentioning this one. But one that I know that myself, I wouldn't buy it, is the Sephora Favorites kit. It's their Gimme Some Nude Lip. It's $28. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. So it's a good deal, no matter how you look at it, but they're all miniature. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because for me, when I have a mini of anything when it comes to lip products, I never use it. I never use it. And I know how terrible that sounds. I might try it and kind of like it. When I'm looking in my lip drawer and I'm picking something out, my eyes just automatically go over the minis. And so I think the person that this would be perfect for is someone that you've never tried any of these things. There's like the NARS Velvet Lip Glide, which you guys know I love. The Marc Jacobs ones, I love that. If you're genuinely wanting to try these because you're thinking about buying a full price one, then that makes sense. Or if you just want to try all these and you want to, maybe you're building your collection, whatever, it's not that this is a bad deal. It's actually a great deal. Just for me, I know myself and I would buy that and be like, oh yeah, I've got all these, and then I would never ever wear them. And so if you're like me, you need to avoid it. If you are buying it for the right reasons, then go for it. My next one is from Tomport. It is one of those duos. It's their cream and powder eye color. It is $62. Now this is similar to the ones that I've even tried, like from Essay Edit, where the bottom is like a cream and then the top, or maybe it's the other way around, the top was a cream and the bottom was a loose powder. And they could be really pretty, like you could really make it punchy by putting the loose powder on top of the cream, but the cream wasn't very creamy, and so it was just a weird, kind of gimmicky product that I never used, so I ended up getting rid of. Well, this looks like it's actually just a straight up powder on top and a cream on the bottom. And for $62, I mean, guys, think of the palettes you could buy with that. I mean, this better, if you're spending $62 on this better be something that you are going to use all the way up. Like a shade, like the one I'm looking at now is called Sun Worship. It's like a golden kind of, I would wear that. But would I wear it enough for it to be worth $62? Absolutely never. I mean, oh my gosh, that's so much money for that. I can't imagine having $62 to throw away on something that I know I wouldn't use enough to be worth $62. Holy moly, total pass. So those are all of my products for the anti-haul this time around. If you enjoy it, like I said, give this a thumbs up. I will link my it was like a month ago, my last anti-haul video down below for your viewing pleasure. That one I feel like I talked about a lot more, but this one I was really kind of narrowing down the things that I really felt strongly about not buying. I hope that you will subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.